Hello everyone, my name is Callum, and today I'll be walking you through a new project I started last week called apkg. apkg is a package manager for agents, in particular coding agents. Now why might we need this? Well, all these different agents tend to have similar types of, you guys could call them dependencies or packages that they interact with. They interact with things such as MCP servers and skills, and more recently they've been started getting support for other items like specializations or subagents. However, the way we configure them is always different for these, even though they have the same support for MCP servers and skills. They need to go in different places, different config files, and actually installing and managing those MCP servers can get quite complicated. So let's see how it works with apkg. First of all, I'm going to clone a repo. This could be just any repo off of GitHub. And if I go inside this repo, I have a toml file. And this toml file is going to have all the config for all the different MCP servers that I, as a maintainer of this repo, think are useful for working with this repo. So let's open it up and see what we have. First of all, we've got one skill. This skill is actually going to teach Claude, or whatever agent you use, how to use apkg to install and manage other packages. Then we've got our MCP servers, and here it's where it gets interesting. We've got the context7 MCP server, and that's using HTTP, and it's an actual external HTTP server. This is coming from the public internet. Then we've got debug Go. This is a Go package that's going to be installed with Go install and contains an MCP server. We've got the Git MCP server, which is a Python MCP server installed with UV. There's the Kubernetes MCP server. This is the one that we at Red Hat are making. And this is a container coming from Quay.io. And it's using the HTTP transport protocol with various volumes. That's using a specific network. And then there is the Playwright MCP server, which is an NPM package. And so what's cool about apkg is that it will just actually let us install all of these. We can do apkg install. And now I'm going to pick which agents I want to have these configured with. So I use Cloud Code and Cursor, but not Gemini, so I can pick those two. Continue, and I want to save that for this project. And then it's going to go install everything, and I'm ready to go. So now you're probably wondering, why do I have these different containers from Podman listed on the left? Well, right now I just have one. It's the kind control plane for my cluster. However, whenever I want to use my coding agent with those MCP servers I just installed, I'm going to want it to actually run a container for me. Since I said to use HTTP for that Kubernetes MCP server, it needs to start it somehow so that Cloud Code or Gemini or Cursor, or whatever app you're using, is actually able to connect to that. And that's one of the things that apkg does for you. You don't have to actually manually run that container yourself anymore and do it. Instead, if I run Claude, we can see right away we've got another container running over here, and I can start interacting with the Kubernetes MCP server. So I can say what namespaces are in my cluster, and it's going to go off and actually look that up for me. And everything's happy. Similarly, because I have that skill installed, I can say install the file system MCP server, and it will go and load that skill, the manage agent packages skill that we created, and it's going to use apkg to install the file system MCP server from npm. So I can proceed. It's all happy. Great. Now let's try with another coding agent as well. Let's go into that same repo. And now if I open up Gemini, give it a second, Gemini's a little bit slow to launch. We can trust this folder. And then we see we've got 6 MCP servers, and we can see which ones they are. Let's go type /MCP, and we'll just list them. We'll see everything we've got. So it was able to connect, and we've got context7, debug Go, we've got file system, we've got Git, we've got Kubernetes, we've got Playwright. And so it's able to pick up on all these different skills that we have and MCP servers. So that's the whole point of apkg. It makes it really easy to use and install and manage whatever MCP servers or skills you think are useful for interacting with repos, and also supports installing all of these things globally as well. Let me know what you think, and thanks for taking the time to check this out.